This webinar is part of the Steels Professional Learning Series on the Steels Hub. This session will focus on the technology and engineering foundation boxes. The foundation boxes are a rich resource for use by educators and curriculum developers during the implementation of the new standards. There is a major shift of focus with the new technology and engineering standards. This shift includes an emphasis on design and design thinking, a focus on a broader understanding of content as well as application of content. Students create, utilize, and assess current and emerging technologies by developing and applying the technology and engineering practices and disciplinary core ideas in a variety of contexts. Students practice inquiry, critical thinking, hands-on making and doing, and focus on learning skills that can be applied throughout their lives, regardless of context. The technology and engineering foundation box documents are organized by grade band, standard coding and strand, standard, clarifying statement and assessment boundary, science and engineering practices, disciplinary core ideas, technology and engineering practices, PA context, Pennsylvania career ready skills, and connections to other standards and practices. All of the technology and engineering standards are performance expectations that define what students know or can do. All standards are multidimensional and are comprised of components. This is reflected in the foundation boxes. For technology and engineering, these components include alignment to the science and engineering practices, alignment to disciplinary core ideas, and technology and engineering practices. These components are part of the standards as well as technology and engineering context. Contexts are not defined within the foundation boxes due to the varying classrooms and laboratories in Pennsylvania, and the standards can be applied in any or all of the contexts. This is an example of a technology and engineering foundation box. Each standard has a foundation box. The grade band is circled on this slide, indicating that it is a grade K2 standard. As we navigate down the foundation box, the coding, content area, and standard are listed. For this standard, the first digit 3 represents the content, T&E, science, or ELS. The second digit is the discipline. 5 represents technology and engineering. The third number represents the grade band. For this example, the grade band is K2. And the fourth character represents the standard, D. Also included on this line is the name of the content area, technology and engineering for this example, and the strand the standard falls within, which is impacts of technology. The next line of the foundation box displays the standard. This standard is looking at students who demonstrate understanding, who can select ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle resources in daily life. The way that this is stated in the standard is that it includes multiple dimensions or components, and the foundation box provides alignment to additional components or dimensions. So students who demonstrate an understanding can select ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle resources in daily life. In this example, while the students are selecting ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle, they are using the technology and engineering practice of attention to ethics, where they are learning that the use of technology affects humans and the environment. Reduce, reuse, and recycle resources in daily life is the content. As I will show on later slides, the technology and engineering foundation boxes also provide alignment to the science and engineering practices. Below the standards are clarifying statements and assessment boundaries. The clarifying statement gives examples or more ideas to help us understand what the expectation of the standard is. The assessment boundaries are generally looked at as for those people or individuals that are looking at large-scale assessment. Assessment boundaries are not defined for the technology and engineering standards. Underneath the assessment boundaries, alignment to the science and engineering practices is displayed. For this standard, alignment to the science and engineering practice of asking questions and defining problems has been made. Of the 8 science and engineering practices that you see here, alignment has been made for this standard to the practice of asking questions and defining problems. This is the primary science and engineering practice for this particular standard, even though students may be using other practices on their way to achieving a standard. The next box is the disciplinary core ideas. This gives a brief description of aligned content, the disciplinary core idea, in the standard. For technology and engineering, the disciplinary core ideas are aligned to NGSS, the National Assessment for Educational Progress, Technology and Engineering Literacy Framework, and ISTE. The third box contains the technology and engineering practices. The practices were adapted from the 21st century skills and from the research on engineering habits of mind. The practices are student-centered and reflect the knowledge, skills, and dispositions students need in order to successfully apply the standards in different context areas. Of the 8 technology and engineering practices that you see here, attention to ethics is the primary practice identified within the foundation box. This is the primary technology and engineering practice for this particular standard, even though students may be using other practices on their way to achieving a standard. The next slide of the foundation boxes is the Pennsylvania context. The provided context serve to make the standards more relevant to students regardless of their location in our Commonwealth. Continuing down the foundation box, Pennsylvania career-ready skills aligned to this standard are identified. These skills include social emotional learning progressions that support the development of student competence. And lastly, connections to other standards, content, and practices connection boxes are provided to support interdisciplinary connections and integration. Educators can use these connections to reinforce student learning by emphasizing experiences in multiple content areas and contexts to support authentic learning. The foundation boxes provide a rich resource to be used when developing curriculum and to teach the technology and engineering standards with fidelity. For more information, please visit the Steels Hub on SAS. If you have any questions, please reach out to the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and we will be sure to address your needs. Thank you.